Half the battle of getting the best results from a database is often just finding the vocabulary that works best in that particular database. So whatever term you start your search with, search engines will have a number of different features that help you identify and include related terms that may really boost your search. One way is that they might allow you to use truncation and wildcard characters that will help you include various forms of a word. They may suggest terms for you to choose from based on the term that you entered. They may just automatically include any words they think are related to the search terms you gave it. Or they may have what's called a controlled vocabulary, a list of subject headings that have actually been assigned to the items and that can really help you do a precise search. Truncation is a way to retrieve various forms of a word in one fell swoop by using a truncation character to stand for any ending. For example, if I'm doing research on something that has to do with environment, well, I might want all of these words in my search. I might want an article that used the word environment, or environments, or environmental, or environmentally, or environmentalist. Any variation of that word could be useful for my search, so I could string them together with a lot of ors. But truncation lets us take a little shortcut. So to truncate is to chop off. We chop the word off, put in a truncation character, and that stands for any ending. The asterisk is usually used for truncation, but sometimes you'll see another symbol. So in this case, I've used the exclamation point as the truncation symbol. If I'm looking for benefits of something, I might want all the variations of that word. Again, I can get benefit, benefits, beneficial, or beneficent. There are some cautions though. With this one, notice what's wrong with this search. If I put an asterisk after cat, if I'm looking for information about cat or cats, this would not be useful because it will give me any ending to cat. So I'm going to get catastrophes, catalogs, Catholics, catheters, all kinds of irrelevant information. And this is a mistake that I see quite often. People will try to put a truncation character after a word that has no other endings. There are no words that begin schools and keep going, so that doesn't do us any good. This is exactly the same as asking just for schools. If we put the truncation at school, though, then we get all these variants. We can have school, schools, schooling, or schooled. So we're getting a lot of related terms there. So where you place that asterisk is very important. Wildcard is a similar idea to truncation, but in this case the symbol stands for just one or no letter. Now this can be very useful in certain situations. A classic one is women. So if I put the question mark standing as a wildcard in women, I can have this be either woman or women. I can get both of those at the same time. Another important use for that is with when you have variant spellings, the American and the British spelling of color, for example. So if I put a wildcard there, that will get both forms. And another one is, as in our previous example, if I really am looking for things about cat or cats, I can use a wildcard to stand for just one letter, and so that will get either cat or cats, but nothing else. The wildcard often is a question mark symbol, but be aware that other symbols might be used. Another way that search engines will help us include related terms is just by suggesting terms as we type. You've probably seen that in Google, and many other databases are beginning to use that as well. This can be helpful, especially if you're not quite sure how to spell a word. But be aware that the list might just be other things people have searched for, and they may not have spelled it right. So be cautious, but it can help you pick out the word you're looking for or to find a particular aspect of the topic that you're after. Some search engines automatically include synonyms and plurals in your search. This can be helpful, but we as the user don't really know exactly which terms are being included in the search, and sometimes this makes the search too broad. So if a search engine seems to be giving you lots of irrelevant results, that could be part of the problem. So look for a way to turn this feature off. Many databases, especially the more academic ones, use what's called a controlled vocabulary of subject headings. Every item is assigned one or many subject headings, and the subject headings stay consistent in a database. That means that once you've found the term the database is using, all the relevant articles will be under that heading so that it can help you really do a good, efficient search. An example will be useful here. In our own catalog, if I look for Northwest Northwest Native Americans, I only get 2 results. If we take a look at one, you can see what the problem is. It did find Native Americans in the title, but look down here in the subject. The subject that's been assigned to that ethnic group is Indians of North America. So if I just go ahead and use their term and ask now for Northwest Indians, now I get 83 things, and that's more reasonable. It would not be reasonable that we only had 2 items. So be aware that the vocabulary can make a huge difference in your results. So be aware that the database may be using terminology you hadn't thought of, and look around for subject headings. They may show up in the results list, like in the catalog that we just saw, and here's another one. This is EBSCO's Academic Search Premier, and it's showing the subject headings that are assigned to articles right in the result list. They might show them on the side, and you can choose them from there and add them into your search. They may let you go to a subject terms part of the database, browse through the subject terms themselves, and here it's going to tell us, oh, they don't use the term cougars in this database, they use the term pumas. However they show them, subject headings can be a big help in getting you to the best material on your topic, so be on the lookout for them and use them in your search. So there again are various ways that a database might help you identify related terms to really improve your search. So be sure to watch for those. Truncation and wildcard, maybe they suggest terms, maybe they automatically include terms, maybe they even provide you with assigned subject headings. And if you're having any trouble figuring those out, please be sure to ask your librarian.